Thank you for tuning in to the DAS Today Network. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined once again with the Prime Minister of the American Slave Nation, Dr. Gerald Higginbotham. Doc, how you doing today?
I am awesome +1, and I'm so excited about being on the DAS Today show. We're going to be talking about 4 things. We're going to talk about our PSA, our public service announcement, what's going on out there in Louisville, Kentucky, what's happening up in Las Vegas, and then we're going to talk about what we're going to do to help make a difference, begin to bring in some economic wealth to our families on the US Census. I'm throwing it back at you. Are you ready?
I'm ready to go, Doc. Sounds good, man. Sounds like you got great information, but let's start with the public service announcement.
All right, well, here we go.
Public service announcement from the American Slave Nation. It is election time. What race will you choose on the Census 2020 page 7, box 8? Those of us who are descendants of American slaves will choose box 8 and write in American slave. Why? Well, in reviewing the U.S. Constitution, we see that there are 2 races spoken in this business contract, Indian and slave. So it's time to get down to business. When tax dollars get distributed this year, we will get our share of the $500 billion to be shared amongst the races here in the United States. We want you and your families to receive your share. However, it will take much effort in freeing our minds and seeing this nation as a business. Do not get caught up in the term slave, because we celebrate our ancestors and their many accomplishments to put us in this position. The value that we, descendants of American slaves, brought to the economic success of the United States of America caused them to write us in the business contract called the Constitution. But thieves have stolen this economic benefit by calling us everything but what the contract identifies us as. Misidentifying our race has been the strategy and has caused some of us to choose personal success and a measure of approval from other races over organizing and strategizing ourselves to protect our communities. Dr. King mentioned in one of his last speeches that the economic battle would begin to we would take on next, and we are here to claim what is ours. A new day is here, and although we are proud of what we have accomplished against such strategic odds, we are laser focused on the future business of the American slave nation. Us uniting around page 7, box 8, will have an immediate impact on our personal circumstances. So if for nothing else, let us get to the polls this year so we can get our share of the $500 billion to be handed out. US Census page 7, box 8, write in American slave.
So here's the census box. Explain that to us.
So what we have here on page 7 is simply a document that I personally have been filling out for years in this nation. What is this person's race? That is the question. Mark an X and next to within the box. The first box is white, second box is black, third box is American Indian, and then it goes Chinese, Filipino, Asian, and other Asians. What we need to do is we need to go by the left margin down to box 8, and we need to mark in American slave. The reason why this is important, Prime Minister, is in me reviewing the Constitution, it reads that there are 2 races that are mentioned in the Constitution, and that is Indian and slave. And we see that they have valued the American Indian by placing the 3rd box there for the American Indians. If you look above there to the 2nd box, they have confused us, the descendants of American slaves, in putting this box that says Black or African American. Now, we appreciate that box, and we see that box for our immigrant brothers, brothers and sisters who have traveled from other nations to nationalize here in the United States of America. But for those of us who were born and bred here, our box is box 8. The race is American slave according to the Constitution. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts is that you're absolutely right. America created a culture. And you know what's really interesting about this here? She purposely did not acknowledge that culture. She gave it another name. She understands that America does business by contracts. That's the reason why she created the Constitution. This country operates, it's a republic. It operates off the law of contracts. And you have to dot every I and cross every T when doing business with the federal government. The American slave culture has not been properly put in the American economic pecking order. That's why the culture's been struggling. She's given it all other names but that name to hide the crime and the shame of slavery. But by us waking up and understanding how this country operates, we can put this on the 2020 census now and write it in. And I had went out there and talked with my congressman, my representative, and we argued about this, the 2020 census and putting American slave name on there. And he argued that we're Black and African American. Then I told him, I said, that's not a true statement. And what we have to do is begin to operate in truth. And what he did, he said, okay, he'll run it up the polls and find out if we can do it. Then he came back and said to me later, a few months later, that he checked it out and you can write the name American slave in there, but it's your responsibility to go back and educate the people. And I said, okay, I'll do what we have to do. So here's where we are. We're honoring that commitment to educate our people, to put the name in there. $500 billion is being set aside for the cultures, Aaron. And what we want to get our share of the economic pie so that we can begin to offer our programs that can begin to empower our communities and teach our people about their culture and how to do business here in the Americas. But the way we start is by uniting around this 2020 census. And let's get the word out. Those that's watching this video, share it, send it to all your friends and have them send it out, because this is available to us. This is what we can do right now. Come together in unity and do business in our culture's name. That's what I'm excited about. It's our turn and it's our time.
Well, we appreciate you putting forth that effort. We understand that it takes many meetings and many conversations with state representatives and on Capitol Hill to get this accomplished and get us to this point. And we applaud you in that effort in doing so. And we're going to show you that we appreciate that, Prime Minister, by going to page 7 in the US Census and going down to box 8 and writing in American slave. And to tell you the truth, they couldn't deny it because it is contract. It's written in the contract. They had no other choice but to recognize it and allow us to put it in box 8. So that's how we get to the money. But let me know what's going on in Louisville, Kentucky. I know you had mentioned that. And I know the founder of the American Slave Incorporation, Dr. Norris Shelton, is there. That's his home location. What's going on in Louisville?
Well, what they have down there, Dr. King said the next battle to be fought for Negroes will be out at the economic battlefield. And so American Slave Headquarters is there in Louisville. And Mr. Norris, bless his heart, he's been fighting this thing for years, but now it's at a point where other folks are coming and joining the movement. And one of the persons is County Commissioner Kathleen Park, the First Lady of Reparation. She's a professor over at Bellum University. And so she got so excited about what the American slave, what it means, the descendants of slaves. She said she had been struggling for years. And when she started reading America's Little Black Book, it changed her life. And she's been teaching civil rights at Bellum University. But when she started reading about the American slave culture, she said this needs to be taught, and the university this year want to be able to teach diversity. And so at her being an adjunct professor, she's going to be teaching the course there. This is the first time in history that American slave history will be taught at an educational institution. And I know as the course is being developed now, it's going to spread throughout our nation. That's what's exciting. We are making history, Aaron. And the other thing that's going on down there, since she has a radio station, she has a national syndicate show, we want to be able to support them. All our Facebook and YouTubers, I want to put up her information so that everybody could see it and join the radio show on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time 10 p.m., 10 a.m. West Coast time to join into the show and hear Commissioner Parks talk about reparation, because she's the first lady of reparation. Also featured on the show is Dr. Norris Shelton. He comes on the last half an hour and he kind of talk about America's Little Black Book. It's nothing to hear it from the founder speak. It's awesome. People can call in and say hello to him. You know, they call in at 502 area code 776-1350 and give their comments and thoughts and talk with the founder. I'm encouraging everybody to do it. We need to support Louisville in this effort because they're doing some things down there that are going to bring about a positive change now. So we're bringing the movement. The economic battlefield is in Louisville. And if all the descendants of American slaves join in this effort, it's going to bring about a positive change because the resources will now be made available to us because of the things that they're doing down there in Louisville. That's what I'm excited about, seeing what's happening down there. And we were just on a conference call on Thursday. I'm up true to my word. Aaron, I'm willing to step up and do my part. So I called into the show and we had a good time and it was exciting. And, you know, we got the show out there. We taped part of it and put it up on the DSA Today show. As a matter of fact, I got off the air and I heard you on the show. You called in.
Yeah, I did get a call in. I wanted to first, praise Dr. Kathleen Parks for her bravery in being a part of this higher institution for learning and seeing the necessity and the importance of getting Black history or descendant of American slave history put into the educational infrastructure in the United States of America. This is huge. That is a monumental moment, and we wanted to celebrate that. We wanted to support that effort, and I did. I called in, got a chance to speak with her. It was exciting. Got a chance to speak with the founder, Dr. Norris Shelton, and to praise him on America's Little Black Book. If you have not picked that book up yet, please do so. As an educated and professional descendant of American slave in this nation, you will see yourself in that book. You will find yourself in that story, and you will be encouraged to move forward. There's a Renaissance Plan book that also goes hand in hand with the America's Little Black Book that I also encourage you to get. So yeah, we're excited. Again, that radio station is WLOU 1350 AM and 104.7 FM for those that want to tune in. And I believe you can find it out there on the internet as well. So that moves us on to the next point. What's happening in Las Vegas now? Las Vegas is where all kind of revenue and money is spent down there. What's going on down there with the American Slave Nation?
Well, the American Slave Nation has now got its footprint in Las Vegas. That's exciting. And they have an event coming up here called the Moulin Rouge Agreement. It happened 60 years ago when the descendants of slaves could not stay in the hotels. Back then, Sammy Davis Jr. and many of the artists, musical recording artists, they wouldn't let them sleep in hotels. And so it was discrimination in Las Vegas. But they came up with this agreement 60 years ago. And so we're having the anniversary here to raise funds for the descendants of American slaves, to help them get their culture business incubator up to full steam. And so I'm gonna put that up on the screen here. For those that lives in the Las Vegas area here, they'll be having their 60th year anniversary, and people are joining the process. It's the 6th year of racial integration in Las Vegas. The International Peace Educational Center is where it'll be hosted. It's important. People are coming to Vegas to be a part of this process, to celebrate, to look at where they are, where they need to go. How far have they progressed? Do we need to change some things? Do we need to add some things? And they're going to party. When you go to Vegas, Vegas is about partying too. They're going to be working hard on this day, this celebration, but also too, they're going to have an awesome event that's planned. And so I'm inviting all the descendants of American slaves to be a part of that. And so save the date. That's what's going on in the Vegas area, my brother.
Well, wonderful. Thank you for sharing. And I know we have a powerful, powerful player down there representing the historic West Side Chamber of Commerce. Catherine Duncan is our lead down there for the Descendants of American Slaves, the American Slave Incorporation. And we're excited to have her a part of the team. She's been a part of the team for quite some time. And she's working very hard down there in the Las Vegas area to get this thing moving. So please, please, share your support with the historic West Side Chamber of Commerce in Las Vegas, Nevada, and this month.
And you know what I want to do is I want to give them a contact number, because if they're going to Vegas, this is you can call her, and she's always looking for those that want to help support the cause and to help the descendants of American slaves in that community. She can be reached at 702 area code 490-2699. That's 702 area code 490-2699. Hey, speaking of being reached, people also can reach us out on our Facebook page, our YouTube page. If you're going on Facebook, it is the Descendants of American Slave group. Just put it in the search and pull it up. If you're out on YouTube, just type in DAS Today. It should come up. And last but not least, they can visit us also out at our webpage on at www.slaveswithas-USA Today. I'll pull it up on the screen so those can see it. So you can go out there and visit us on these different channels where you can be informed and hear about some of the things that we're doing to bring about the positive change. Having said all that, Aaron, I'm throwing it back at you. You got some other things or thoughts or comments before we close the show?
Well, I know our time was short this segment. We're constantly trying to improve what we do here for everyone on YouTube and on this platform, so be patient. We are always looking for interested individuals to comment, share, like, and subscribe. We'll certainly review your comments and provide some feedback. But again, I'm excited, and we appreciate your time. We understand that you're very busy, and having this time to get some content out there to the people so the people can hear what's actually going on today. Now's the time where we need hope, we need faith, we need a vision, we need everything today. So this is calling all parties to say, let's come together, let's come to the table, let's have a discussion, and let's solve these issues concerning our nation.
Hey, with that said, hey, thank you for joining the DSA Today show. Peace and blessings, everybody.